Back several weeks ago, during one of our Wednesday night meetings, Tyler asked all of us what we wanted to use as our story for Youth Sunday. This question was followed by a lot of silence, which I could not believe based on who was all sitting in the room. Deidre would probably not believe me if I told her that Matthew was quiet. But after this silence, Tyler got a conversation going, and someone brought up the story of Noah and the Ark. And ultimately, that would be the story that we decided on. The story of Noah is one of the more well-known stories. It's often told in Sunday school when you were probably a young child. It still gets told as you get older. The story goes something like this. God was not happy with man because we were doing much evil in his eyes. So God decided to flood the earth and wipe out every living thing. But he did see good in Noah and his family. He told them to build an ark and put one male and one female of every animal in here. When the flood came, Noah and his family and all the animals climbed into the ark. They were in the ark over water for 40 days and 40 nights. After these 40 days, Noah sent out a dove to see if there was any land. But the dove came back with absolutely nothing. 7 days later, the dove went again, and it came back with an olive branch. So then another 7 days would pass, and he sent the dove out again, but this time it never returned. So they went in the direction of the dove, and they found land where Noah built an altar to God. And then God promised to never destroy the earth and its inhabitants by sending a rainbow. So what is it about this story that makes it so well known and so popular, and we tell it to our little kids? It's about a guy who floods the entire earth. In Sunday school, especially as a child, we would often follow a story by making a picture. And it was used as a visual representation of the story. And children love to make pictures with lots of color. And so what is it in the story of Noah that has lots of color? None other than a rainbow. Rainbows allow them to use 6 different colors and curved lines stacked on top of each other. These colors are eye-appealing, make them beautiful to look at, and kids love color. But eventually, as we get older, while we still love rainbows, you don't have that enthusiasm that you had for them when you were younger. If you see a rainbow in the sky, you notice it's there, but you quickly dismiss it. But if the rainbow is why we like the story of Noah, if you lose that enthusiasm, would you lose enthusiasm for the story as well? So what is it about the story that we still love it? Well, even if we lose enthusiasm in appearance, it's still that rainbow. That rainbow is why we go back to the story. So when you read the story now, you don't think of the rainbow for appearance. You imagine more of a promise. But this promise is not a promise we make to God. Oftentimes we promise God that we'll never do anything to go against him ever again. And then God forgives us for doing whatever it was we did. But this is not that kind of promise. This is a promise from God to us. A promise God made to never destroy the earth as he did over those 40 days. And a promise like this is usually followed with forgiveness. But why would God need forgiveness? This situation reminds me of what my parents would tell me when they're mad at me. I brought you into this world, and I can take you out of it. Yeah, how many of y'all have ever told your kids that? So, wouldn't this apply for God? God brought us into this world. Can't he take us out of it? Well, maybe we needed to forgive God. Maybe God wanted to be forgiven so that he later could forgive us. Maybe he needed forgiveness because soon he would return the favor to us by sending his Son to forgive us. God had to make a way of showing a promise. So that rainbow was that symbol he used for it. He had to make a promise so that we could trust that he would never do that again. This rainbow, however, isn't just one promise. For Noah, it was a promise to never again destroy the earth. But that may not be what he's promising all of you. That rainbow signifies a promise God made to fit your specific situation. And just as God has continued to fulfill his promise to Noah, he is fulfilling his promise to all of you. God sent each one of you here your own special rainbow. And it may not have come with all the colors that we always see with rainbows. But God sent it. And whenever it's come, you have paid lots of attention to it, whether you know it or not. Sometimes it's as simple as a good life. Other times it can be more on a personal level. God has promised me lots of things, but his greatest promise to me was the life that I'm currently living. I have everything that I could have ever wanted. I have a loving mother and father, an awesome brother, wonderful grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, an extraordinary church family, food, shelter, and a decent education system. I also have great friends that I can go to whenever I need them. Everything that I've ever accomplished in my life is because of that great life God promised me 15 and a half years ago. And he's continued to provide for today. His rainbow, for me, did not come in flashy colors. But it came, and it was the most beautiful rainbow I've ever seen. So, I ask you all of this. What is your rainbow? What promise has God made to you that he's already fulfilled or is still fulfilling today? Oftentimes, when we see rainbows in the sky, we know they're there, then we dismiss them just as quickly. But I encourage all of you next time that you see a rainbow, look at it for a little bit longer and think about that promise that God made to you. No matter what your situation is, good or bad, the rainbow is there. You just have to find it. And once you have, it becomes very clear to you that it's there. And once you've found it, you'll know that those important promises in life don't have to come